Case study. $80,290 in 10 days in the Learn Guitar market with no JVs, no affiliates, and no ad cost. Hey, Dan Dinley here, founder of Overwatch Force. So today what I want to do is walk you through profit multiplier number 3, which is called the module method. All right. And this is really based around Ascension, and I'm going to explain what that means in just a second. But this comes directly from my free report, 6 Ways to Double Your Sales from Your Existing List Without Spending a Dime on Ads, Affiliates, or JV Partners. Okay, so we're going to do a deep dive into this particular profit multiplier. And I got a little bit of a disclaimer here for you. I'm making this video for you this morning, and my kids are still at home. I'm making this in my home office, so if you hear some noise in the background, you'll know what's going on. But I just wanted to get this whipped together for you and explain this because it was on my mind, and I think it'll be helpful for you. So the big idea here is Ascension, okay? You have a list, all right? And there are people on your list who want to get greater access to you or members of your team. They want greater personalized service. They want product and service customization. All right. And here are 3 eternal truths. Poor people buy stuff, rich people buy experiences. And I cannot remember who told me that or where I read it, but I think it's absolutely spot on. And the affluent, okay, people that have money are eager to spend money for convenience, customization, speed of results, and status boosters, and a whole lot of other things I'm going to explain to you in just a second. But the ones that you can really get your head wrapped around quickly is people that have money, they will pay extra for convenience, customization, speed of results, status boosters. And the third eternal truth is you can add significant profit to your profit and loss sheet by simply offering premium price products and services to your existing customers. Okay? So if you want to do a really deep dive into this, and if you're a lifelong learner like I am, I recommend these books on selling to the affluent. No BS Marketing to the Affluent by Dan Kennedy, the $10 trillion prize, as well as The Art of Selling to the Affluent, how to attract service and retain wealthy customers and clients for life. Okay, so this customer ascension path, there's different reasons that people will pay you more money. Okay, and these are just a few. We could probably spend a full day on just this slide, but just to get your brain moving in the right direction. Customer ascension, reasons people will pay you more money for stuff is for a customized product. Okay, so basically people want something that's unique and they're willing to pay for that. They want personalization. Okay. So for example, personalization with concierge medicine. It's basically where you would pay a doctor an annual fee or a monthly fee for good old-fashioned house calls and good old-fashioned service where you can actually contact the daggum doctor without going through 40 layers of gatekeepers. Okay, that's another personalization method. So people that have means would cheerfully pay for concierge medicine and do. Convenience, okay? Dr. Chad Elsner happens to be a friend of mine. He's an orthopedic surgeon. And my kid flew off his skateboard going downhill and broke his arm, basically. And because I was able to contact this orthopedic surgeon, a friend of mine, he basically met us in the parking lot at the emergency room, took us in through the back door. Okay, and there were like 100 and something people sitting in the emergency room. Took us back to the back, did the x-ray himself, took him over, took my kid over, and then had an assistant come over and basically wrap his arm in a cast. And we were in and out of there in like 20 minutes, okay? And I looked at my kid and I was like, you realize this never happens. This does not ever happen to, the majority of people. And this is a huge privilege. It was a big convenience factor. I would have cheerfully paid Chad just for that particular convenience factor, okay, if I had had that as an option. And again, this kind of relates to the concierge medicine thing. If I knew that I was going to need a doctor, I would cheerfully pay an extra fee per year just to be able to do something like skip the ER, okay? So greater access, okay, greater access to you, greater access to your team, greater access to your talent, okay. If you're not the face of your business, like I'm not the face of one of my businesses, actually I'm not the face of any of my businesses now that I think about it, except maybe Overwatch Force, I guess. But the point is with the greater access is, like, for example, I joined Digital Marketers War Room a few years ago. And the whole reason I did that is because I had questions that I wanted answered directly from the principals. I wanted to be able to talk to Perry Belcher. I wanted to be able to talk to Ryan Dice. I wanted to be able to talk to Frank Kern. I wanted to be able to talk to Roland. I wanted to be able to talk to all the digital marketer team. I wanted to be able to get access to actually even something equally as valuable is the whole people in the room, because that room is filled with wickedly smart people. Okay, and I wanted access to those people. So I pay like 25 grand a year or something to be in that thing. And also the module method. Okay, that's kind of what we're going to go over here in this case study in just a second. But greater access, we basically gave greater access to our students, to our main chief guitarist in residence, Steve Stein. So for a unique experience, okay, people are definitely willing to pay more for a unique experience. Remember, rich people pay for experiences, poor people buy stuff. All right. So one of the unique experiences is Modern Warrior. That's in my gun business. And there, right now, basically it's a 3-day training. It's 6 people only. They go to a SWAT team facility. They get to shoot in a airplane hull. There's a kill house there, which is just a straight up house. And they're able to go through and run all kinds of different scenarios. So that's a unique experience that they don't get other places, and they're also able to use some weapons that Navy SEALs use and that kind of thing. So again, we're able to charge about 600% more than anybody else for that thing because it's totally unique. Done for you services. Okay, so I have a traffic agency that I pay thousands of dollars every month in addition to the paid traffic, just to have them do it for me, because while I do know how to run ads and I do know how to set up Google AdWords and all that stuff, you know what? My time is actually much more valuable doing something else where I can just hand that off and have the traffic agency do it. Sixth Division, a buddy of mine, Brad Martineau, owns that company, and they do basically turnkey, done for you Infusionsoft campaigns. And copywriters is another done for you service. I can write copy, I have for years. But again, if I don't have to sit down and crank out a 14-page sales letter, that makes me very happy. So I'm happy to turn that over. Speed to results, or speed up results. Pool gate installation. Okay. Basically, just recently I needed I needed a new gate to put around my pool and a pool fence. And, I had some out of town guests coming over, and we really needed this pool gate installed with this fence. And the guy basically said, look, here's what the fence costs, here's what the gate costs. It's going to take 2 weeks to get you on our schedule, and it cost X number of dollars. I don't remember exactly how much it was. Well, I needed the thing fast. Okay, so if he had followed up that next sentence with, and if you'd like us to install it within 48 hours, it's an extra 20% expediting fee. Well, you know what? They probably could have shuffled somebody around and done that job for me and added 20% to their bottom line. Okay, but he didn't ask me that. I'm just giving you that as an example. Disney actually has a personal concierge service. I'm not even sure how this works exactly, but from what I understand, you can actually pay like a private guide, something like $150 an hour, to take you and your family and friends around to like secret passageways, behind the scenes, and most importantly, skip right to the front of the line on every ride. Okay, so that's speed of results. It's basically a privilege. It's also a status booster. It's also a serotonin release, and we're talking about chemicals in the brain here. There's a lot of these different things. You can go really deep into this stuff, but I just want to get you started here. And then status boosters. reserve VIP access, club level seats, whisper menu items. This is a perfect example. My oldest kid works at In-N-Out Burger, which if you haven't had an In-N-Out Burger and you come to California, you definitely want to get one of those bad boys. But they basically have a whisper menu, and it drives a ton of sales because it's mysterious, right? It's something that not everybody has. And again, this touches on, all of these things are related, by the way. It touches on unique experience. It touches on a status booster. It touches on personalization, customization. So for example, you can get, the menu that you walk in and see has like a double with cheese or whatever it is. And one of the whisper menu items is a double animal style. Well, animal style basically has like some additional toppings and some special sauce or something. But animal style is, you will never find that on any of the menus, okay? But it's a secret whisper menu item. Same thing with club level seats in a stadium. If I want to go to Padres Stadium and I want to be cool, if I'm into status, then you know what? I want to be sitting in the club level seats. Again, reserve VIP access. For example, at our live guitar events, we have a section roped off for reserve VIPs, people that paid more, that want more direct access to our guitars. So hopefully you get the idea. Okay, so this is all about a customer ascension path. So there's two ways to increase sales, and there really are only two ways. That's the good news. You can either get more customers, which is the hardest and most expensive way, but it's also necessary because you need to keep your pipeline filled up. And the other thing is just sell more to existing customers, which is a lot easier and a lot faster because they already know, like, and trust you, okay? So how to sell more to existing customers? You can either increase the frequency, which means how often they buy. So right now, if your average sale is one time a month and you can get them to buy twice a month, then that's increasing your frequency, right? So you can do that by making more offers, upsells in your funnel, so your initial funnel when they first hit the page, as well as your follow-up sequence. And you can offer affiliate products. Or the other way you can do it is to increase the transaction size, which means to offer higher priced products. Okay, so if your average sale right now is $50 and you can take it to $100, then guess what? You just made more money. All right, so those are the two ways. You increase frequency or transaction size. Now, if you want to compound your sales, you just do both. You increase the frequency and the transaction size, which means you're going to make more offers at a higher ticket, which is what the whole Ascension path is about. So let's do this case study. $80,290 in 10 days in the Learn Guitar market. No JVs, no affiliates, no ad cost. Here was the overview goal. All right. We had a product called Music Theory Made Simple, and it was 10 DVDs in a book, and it sold well for $117. We wanted a fast cash infusion with no fulfillment, no joint ventures, no affiliates, and no advertising costs. So here's what we did. We went to the list and said, hey, Steve Stein's teaching a 12-week masterclass called Music Theory for Life. And to help you decide if it's right for you, we're doing a free webinar called 10 Music Theory Shortcuts. Register here. That seriously was like the entire email. They registered, and Steve and I did 2 webinars. Now, I have got to tell you that I was completely clueless about webinars, okay? This was my first webinar I'd ever done in my entire life. They always scared me to death because I've been on webinars, and it seems like no matter what, something goes wrong. And so I was always worried that like even the professional like webinar people that were doing these things all the time were always screwing them up, and I knew I was going to screw it up. I had no idea if it would work. I've never in my life seen anybody in the guitar market do anything even remotely similar to a webinar. I figured it probably would only work for business, for consulting, for, that kind of thing. And well, I was wrong. And I had no idea how to run a webinar. And I had no idea which webinar service to use, okay? I didn't even know which services were available, much less which one to use. But thankfully, I had access to a deep well of wicked smart people, okay? So I tapped into my inner circle of paid mastermind and business associates that I've gotten to know over the years, emphasis on years, and I quickly got the answer to all these questions. So the infinite power of collaboration. Within 48 hours, I knew which webinar service to use and how to use the technology. I had access to a complete training library of how to run a webinar, and I had someone else run the webinar for me, a tech person. I just showed up and talked. So this is kind of an aside to this main presentation, but this is important. You need to develop your inner circle, and you need to do it starting today, like right now. You must surround yourself with smart, talented people who are more successful than you if you want to grow. So if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in trouble. You want to be the dumbest guy in the room, okay? Or the least experienced guy in the room, okay? If you don't know these people, okay, if you don't have an inner circle, then get out of your rice bowl and go meet them. Go to events, go to trade shows, go to seminars, okay? You need to be somewhere, okay? I've never made more money in all my life than when I got out of my little dinky, close-minded, myopic office and went and met smart, talented people, okay? I cannot emphasize this enough. If you think that you can just sit around in your little rice bowl and make a whole bunch of money, it's just infinitely harder, okay? Because when you get out and you meet people, you're tapping into their circle of influence. You're tapping into their experience. You're tapping into their knowledge base, okay? Really important. One way you can do that is just by buying your way in, okay? If you don't know these people, if you're not BFF with these people, because, I mean, I don't know a whole lot of people. And sometimes I'm like, screw it, man. I'll just buy my way in. So like War Room, and War Room just happens to be one example, but you can buy your way into all kinds of coaching, masterminds, strategy sessions with different people, okay? So you want to develop your inner circle, and you want to give, and then you will receive, okay? So make sure that you're prepared to bring something to the table, something that's going to be valuable, because that's the way the whole thing works. And if you just are there to suck the life out of people, then you will find yourself not surrounded by the people you necessarily want to be. So you need to understand that as an entrepreneur, you will have ups and downs. That's the reality check. And you need to understand that these people, your inner circle, are your lifeline to maintaining your sanity and your profits. Okay, so all of this disclaimer is because the only way I was able to make that mastermind so successful, the coaching session so successful, is because I had a group of people to tap into, okay? And I was able to actually, find these people and do deals with them and get going. All right. So here is the $80,000 webinar structure. The first hour was nothing but content. Literally all we did was teach for an hour, okay? And at the end, the pitch, quote unquote, was essentially this. Hey, if you like what you saw today, then you'll want to register for this 12-week masterclass. And if you register by midnight tonight, we're offering you this special webinar only bonus. Now, that's not very complicated, is it? That's like the classic John Carlton, here's what I got, here's what it'll do for you, and here's what to do next. So, if you use Webinar Jam, you get a boatload of training with it, okay? So that's a really good service. That's what we used. I have nothing to compare it to because it's the first time I've ever done anything, but it worked just fine, and it came with a ton of training, so you might want to consider that. So the webinar results. The price for the 12-week masterclass was $97. So this is not a $997 thing, okay? This is a $97 thing. And it was $97 for the previous masterclass students, so people that had already attended one of our masterclasses. And then it was $197 for everybody else. And the result was $80,290 in sales in 10 days. So, disclaimer, results not typical, right? This business is long established, has a great reputation. We've given tons of great content and products over the years, literally thousands of videos and at least hundreds, probably thousands of hours of video. The big aha is the 12-week masterclass is essentially the same information as the 10 DVD product. Okay? It's essentially the same thing. The only difference, and this is huge, is students got extra perks. They got greater access to the instructor. They got more one-on-one help that allowed us to charge a lot more money. All right. So here's what they actually got. If you're interested, these are the details. They got 12 weeks of pre-recorded video lessons, which means they got 1 or more hours of video content each week, okay, and each lesson built on the previous one. And they also got 4 1-hour live calls with the instructor. And again, we did these with Webinar Jam. I think maybe he used Fuse Meeting. I don't know. I can't remember. We've switched around a few times, but the point is they got 4 1-hour live calls. Okay. And they also got a secret email address so they could contact the instructor with parameters. Okay. And one of the parameters was if you ask a question that's covered in the class content, it means you probably didn't watch the class content, therefore do not expect an answer. That is like one of the little secrets. If you give direct access to you or your team or your talent, if you just put that disclaimer in there, it instantly cuts down on a ton of emails, because what will happen is people will join the class and they're like, oh, I don't want to take time to actually go through the content and do the work. I'll just bug the out of the instructor. Well, when they fire off an email and they don't get an answer, they probably like, oh yeah, I probably should actually do something. Okay, so that is a big takeaway right there. That secret email address cut down on the number of emails received to the different instructors by probably 75%. Okay, but they could contact, if they had a legitimate question that was over and above what had been covered, then we absolutely would answer that. And they also got a private Facebook group just for masterclass students. Okay. And again, this was the thing that we put parameters on. We basically said, our Steve Stein is our chief guitarist and resident. He's obviously busy doing classes for you and that kind of thing. So the whole point of the group is to help each other. Okay. And we actually went ahead and appointed some people in that group who were really active and really enthusiastic as kind of administrators, and we let them jump in and answer first, and then the instructor only jumps in about once every other day, I think, just to kind of monitor it. But our goal is 100% questions answered, okay, in these groups, because obviously these people are paying a lot of money. You're going to service them well. I'm just giving you a couple of parameters that you can use. And then they got 2 bonuses, if and only if they register by a specific date. So these are actual courses that they got when they registered for this masterclass. Now, the big idea is that the content was the same. I keep saying that over and over again, okay? The content was exactly the same thing as the DVD version. The thing that allowed us to charge $197 for a digital product was greater access to the instructor. Okay, we just had a certain number of people that just wanted to have access to the instructor. And here's another big idea. The more direct access you give your customers to you and your team, the more money you can charge for that privilege. Okay. So, action item. Think of one premium priced offer that you could make to your existing customer base. Don't start with like 10 things. Just start with one thing. Okay. So if you already have a product or a service that you are offering to your customers and you're actually profitable, the next fastest, easiest thing is to just come up with another thing that you can offer those same people. And it can be another version of the same exact thing they just bought. Okay? That's exactly what we did. They just bought the music theory, not just, but we had those people, man, I can't talk. The masterclass people, many of them had already purchased Music Theory Made Simple. They had already purchased that. They just wanted greater access to the instructor, and they wanted a live teaching environment using that module method. And that's what we gave them, and that's how we were able to scoop up an extra $80,000 in that month. So think of the offer, make the offer. That's basically your action item. So let me give you an example just to get your mind and your creative juices flowing. Let's say you have a home security monitoring system, okay, or a home security monitoring business. You could offer to perform an on-site home security analysis, okay? So let's say you've got 500 customers. You whip together a postcard of your 500 active customers, just basically saying, thank you for being a home security monitoring customer. if you would like an in-depth on-site analysis of your home security, where we will analyze your doors, your windows, your cameras, your alarm system, everything, us to personally walk you through and then hand you a checklist of items that needed to be upgraded, okay, which PS could be some of your upgrades that you offer with your system, or it could be something as simple as replace this hollow door with a solid door and upgrade this lock to a deadbolt with a key or something like that. You hand them that list, okay? So you would detect the weak points and you would just hand them the list of action items. And you could offer that analysis for $500. I mean, after all, you're going to come out, you're going to analyze all their doors and windows. You're going to do all this work with an actual person. You tell them what the price is up front. It's $497. There is a segment of your home security people that are paying you every single month for security that would cheerfully pay for an on-site analysis, okay? And you could train up one of your techs to do this, and I guarantee you would make multiples on that $497. And if you did a couple of those a day, that's that's $1,000 a day. That's $30,000 extra a month, basically for just giving people what they want. Okay. Now, if you want to get Ninja, then after you hand them that action item list, you know what the homeowner is thinking? Dang, dude, you just told me to replace this door. You told me to upgrade these windows. You told me to do whatever. That sounds like a lot of work. And then you just say, would you like us to do this for you? Okay, this goes into the done for us service. And if you're like, well, dude, I run a service business. I don't have contractors. Well, how many starving contractors are there out there that you could easily hook up with, interview, vet, and then go ahead and broker the service? So if it was a $10,000 security upgrade and you just did basically a 30% management fee, then that's $3,000 profit. And that's what we call a slack adjuster. Okay. And if you really want to get Ninja, you develop your own team because you would get to keep a lot more than $3,000 profit in it. All right. And also there's some more targeting things that would go into this. Like, for example, if you knew, if you only wanted to target people whose homes were worth at least $500,000 because you knew that the real thing that you were going for here is not only the analysis fee, but also the security upgrades done for you service, what you'd want to do is if you had 500 customers, you would want to take that customer list and have it analyzed by a data house and then have them come back to you and say, you have 134 people on this list who make at least $100,000 in annual income per year, who also live in homes that are valued at least $500,000 currently. Then you would mail the offer to that list, which would increase the take rate dramatically. Okay, and that goes into targeting. And then you would offer the analysis and go from there. All right, so here's example number 2, health and fitness. So if you sell auto ship, let's say for example, you sell auto ship supplements, shakes, etc. And let's say that each customer is paying $65 a month to get their shakes and supplements auto shipped to them. All right. One Ascension offer is you could offer a monthly group coaching call. Okay, so let's say that your auto ship also comes with a value-added members-only website where they get paleo-centric caveman recipes. They get interaction with other members. They get the support of their group. They get to upload photos of themselves and videos and whatever, and track their progress and all of that. Okay, that's $65 a month as a value add to separate and differentiate you from your other supplement-only competitors. Okay, so the thing you can go to your list with is you develop a simple offer. Remember I said start with one offer? So let's say you just offered a group coaching call. You just went to them and said, hey, thanks for being a customer. If you'd like some help in achieving your weight loss and fitness goals, then we would love to help you. And let's do this together. Let's jump on a call every month and we'll have a bunch of people on the call and we'll get questions answered about nutrition, about fitness, about exercise, and that could be a simple offer. Okay. Second offer, personal accountability partner. So some people are like, you know what, group coaching is great, but I would love to actually have a person that got to know me and my specific goals that I can contact and that may be called your Gold Plus membership. And then you could have direct access to you via phone and web, or direct access to your talent, whoever the person is that's on your team that is like the guru person in health and fitness. Maybe you're not that person, okay? And that could be platinum level people. And they could have personal training where, hey, guess what? Not only do you want all of these things above, but you also want someone to meet you at the gym, okay? And then actually help you with training. And maybe also you could offer a nutritional person. So a nutritionist could also be direct access, okay? And then you could hook up with a done for you meal service, and there are plenty of them out there. So if you didn't want to get in the food business, you could just hook up with one of those people and say, what can I buy these things for wholesale, and have them delivered, okay? And then your sixth Ascension offer, and again, you could do one or all of these, or pick one, whichever one you think is best for your business. And then you could have a personal chef, they could have a trainer, an accountability partner, and those would be your diamond VIP people, okay? So that's the way you would come up with your offer. And again, I'm just giving you this example in this health and fitness niche because it happens to be one that I'm familiar with. But you can come up with this thing. It doesn't matter, even if you have a tire shop, even if you have a car wash, you could do this, okay? You can have people that pay you for monthly cheapo, just wash the exterior. You could have a Gold Plus membership where they get the exterior and the interior. You could have a Platinum membership where they get a full detail. You have Platinum Plus where they get full detail plus to wash the hood, wash all of the interior of their car, vacuum it out, do under the hood. And then you've got your Diamond where they put some special coating on it. And you could do this monthly where they could do like, for a particular fee per month, they could get that done as often as they want. You could do this for any business. You have to be able to apply these different models to your business, okay? So don't sit there and think, well, I'm not in health and fitness, this probably wouldn't work for me. Just to take these ideas and think of how they would work for your business, okay? So let's dive deep into this example of the health and fitness Ascension offers. So basically, let's say that you auto ship your shakes, your nutraceuticals, your supplements, okay, and they get a website, a membership site, and it's $65 a month. So they get the shakes, like your main, your flagship core product, $65 a month plus the website. And let's say you're generating, or you have 1,500 customers, all right, and I have the conversion rate there blank because we're starting out with this. So that's basically about a $97,500 per month business, okay? That's revenue. Obviously, that's sales. Okay, so let's say that that's your only offer at this point, okay? And again, don't get hung up on this specific example. I just had to latch onto something so that I could get this information, disseminated from me to you. All right, so let's say that this is your base, it's $97,500 a month. If you added that nutritional coaching call, let's say you charge them an extra $49 a month, okay, if they wanted that option. And let's say that you got 300 of the 1,500, which would be a 20% of your base, okay, is now paying you $14,700 a month. Well, guess what it's going to cost you to do that nutrition coaching call? It's going to cost you next to nothing because you're going to put them on a Google Hangout. You're going to put them on a Webinar Jam. You're going to put them on a GoToWebinar. You're going to put them on, maybe you just do a straight up bridge line and you just do phone calls with like interview, whatever. Okay. Actually that's another idea, is actually just doing an interview of the month with a fitness expert. Okay. Where you can call up these different authors and people that own websites and people that have customer lists who are looking for more exposure, especially free exposure, and you could expose them to your customer base, okay, and you could create content. But let's just say, for example, right now, for this nutritional coaching call, that you're going to help people with their nutrition, and it could be somewhat strategic in that with each coaching call, you could actually have it curriculum based. So you already knew what you were going to talk about. And then you ask them for their input and their challenges and obstacles that they needed to overcome. And you help them and charge them $49 a month for that. Well, that's $14,700. It's almost going to go directly to your bottom line. Okay. Now, The next thing you've got is perhaps they would like to have an accountability partner. So you take one person on your staff, or you find a nutritionalist, or you find a personal trainer, and this could actually be two different products. You could have a accountability partner for the nutrition. You could have an accountability partner for the fitness, for the exercise. Okay. Well, if you only got 60 customers at $97 a month, that's 4% of your 1,500 customer base, which is $58.20 a month. Okay. For you basically doing no extra work. Okay. I'm not suggesting that you be that accountability partner, at least in this example. So you could generate $58.20 a month just by adding that. Now, what if you added a one-on-one consultation per month? Okay, and let's say that, for example, in our gun business, we have a guy that's a SWAT team facility, a SWAT team member. Okay, and let's say that they wanted to talk directly to V once a month to get any kind of questions answered about anything to do with firearms, personal safety, training, tactical things like that. Okay. Or in this example, it happens to be, let's say that you're a main nutritional person or the face of the business. If they want a one-on-one consult, $497 a month, I'm sure there's a certain number of people in your list that'll pay that. Even though it might sound outrageous to you, there are a certain number of people that money really is no obstacle to them, and they just want the daggum information. They just want to be told what to do. In fact, that's a whole nother subject as is relating to done for you services. But the higher up the affluent level you go, the more people just want the solution. Okay, they don't want to have to read a book to get the solution. They just want to talk to the high level person and get the direct answer and implement it. Okay, so let's say you got 12 of those customers. That's a 0.8% conversion ratio of your 1,500 customer base. So that's an extra $59.64 a month. Then, if they want a personal trainer, if they want a personal trainer, you could give them that option at $240 a month. So that's let's say they met with them once a week, $60 an hour, 6 times 4 is $240. Therefore, you've got $240 for 4 customers, and that's only 0.3% of your base actually taking that option. Still has $960 a month, and you have to do nothing. Okay, so let's say for the personal trainer example, do you know how many broke personal trainers there are who are smart, talented, who understand fitness, but they don't understand marketing and they don't know how to attract clients and customers? You could do that for them, basically. Okay, so all you got to do is hook up with one of these personal trainers in their city, find someone, vet someone, have a team, and then let them go and train them, and then take a percentage off the top. All right, and then done for you meals plus. Okay, so basically in this option, it's a $1,200 option. They would get done for you nutritional meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, etc. And even if only 2 customers did that, it's $2,400 a month. And I realize that in the food business, there's not much wiggle room in terms of margin. But we're talking about revenue growth here. And then let's say you had a VIP diamond level, and those people, they wanted your personal chef, trainer, partner, etc. So let's say they were $2,500 a month, plus they got all the supplements, plus they got personal one-on-one consults. They were part of the coaching club. They had everything. Okay, like, this is just your highest level option. Well, that's $5,000 a month. Let's look at how that shakes out in a year. Now, your original revenue growth, or your original revenue, is $97,500 a month. Just by adding these Ascension offers, we've got an added revenue per month of $34,844. Okay, which is your new total revenue a month will be $132,344. That's a 36% increase. Okay. Then, if you take that out to the year, you're 1.170, okay, 1.170 million bucks a year. That's your original. You added 418,128 just by adding those Ascension offers. Now your new total revenue is 1,588,128. So you added $418,000 of revenue, and here's the big aha. This 418,128 added revenue per year is from your existing customers and clients. These are people you already paid to acquire. And yes, even if you don't quote unquote pay for traffic, you are paying in some way. You're either paying affiliates, or you're spending time doing SEO, or you're doing something to get somebody to show up to your website. So you're either paying with your time, you're paying with your money, you're paying with your attention, or you're paying affiliates, that kind of thing, okay? The point is, you have to, in some way, have skin in the game to generate a customer. There's no such thing as free customers, okay? Just ain't gonna happen unless you get invited on the Oprah show for some reason, okay? So 418,128 added from existing customers. That's a really, really big one. And so that means that all this money goes directly to your bottom line, okay? This is just like found money by simply creating additional offers and allowing your customer to ascend. So three big takeaways. Making time to add just one Ascension offer to your follow-up sequence will immediately boost your profits, okay? Because you already paid to acquire that customer. And the Ascension path is where you make profit. Acquiring a customer is most likely going to cost you money. And it isn't until the second, third, fourth sale that they are actually going to be profitable. And I don't care if you sell a $5,000 consulting package, you have to spend money to acquire that customer. You are either going to spend your time by going to an event and giving a talk and then giving a pitch, okay? You're going to have a booth at an event. You're going to have paid advertising like Facebook or Google or Bing. You're going to rent a list. You're going to do a JV. You know that to get that customer in the door, it's going to cost you money. So this Ascension path is where all your profit is, okay? So you need to make time to, even if you just do one. Allow your customers to buy more frequently and increase their transaction size. That's what this whole thing is about. It's just getting to increase frequency and the monetary per transaction value. Now, this may be a slap in the face, but I gotta be honest here. You are the limiting factor, not your customers. Okay? They want to buy more stuff from you. You just need to give them the opportunity. Okay, I'm going to say that again in case you dozed off because I know this video is long. You are the limiting factor, not your customers. They already want to buy more products and service from you. You just need to give them the opportunity. Okay, just like the pool guy the other day when I needed my fence installed in a short amount of time, he could have turned around and said there's a 20% expediting fee, and I would have probably whipped out my credit card so fast it made his head spin. I didn't care about the 20%. I just needed it done. Okay. And that's what you need to realize. The more fluent your customer, they just want the solution at any price. At any price. All right. So this isn't really rocket science, right? You just need to develop more offers and you need to ask for the sale. So the question I have for you is, why haven't you already done this in your business? Okay. And here's the number one reason that I see. Time. It's really, when you're an entrepreneur, there are always going to be more opportunities than time. There will always be more opportunities than time, okay? So you need to get used to saying no and focus on the things that are the most valuable and the things that you enjoy doing the most because, geez, life is short, right? So since the time is really the factor, I have a question for you, which is, do you want some help? If you want me to personally help you implement these types of strategies and campaigns, then I'd love to speak with you to see if we might be a good fit. And with your permission, I'd like to personally create an optimized and customized Operation Windfall campaign for your business and then walk you through it over the phone. 100% free, no strings attached. So why would I do all this for free? It's a very good question. There are 3 reasons that your Operation Windfall campaign is free. First, I love doing it. I love strategizing, planning, and working on other people's businesses and just business in general. It energizes me and it sharpens my saw because I get to look at other business models and what's working. Second, I'm a big believer in collaboration. And I'll be honest with you, I used to not be, but now I am a huge believer in it. And the fact is, it's woven into the fabric of the universe that we need other people to help achieve our goals. Okay. And since I'll be looking at your business from a 30,000 foot perspective, there are things that I might be able to see from the air that you just can't from the ground. And it gives me intense personal satisfaction to discover these untapped profit centers that you might be overlooking. And the third is this is how I attract only high-level Top Gun clients. And your 100% satisfaction with this plan that I'm going to give you for free is guaranteed, or I'll pay you $500. I'm going to create an optimized Operation Windfall plan for your business upfront, 100% free. And I absolutely guarantee that you'll be 100% satisfied, or I'm just going to pay you $500 to compensate you for your time. So, does that sound fair enough? If so, here's what to do next. Click the link or the button on this page to learn more about how to take me up on this valuable offer. Fill out the short application to make sure that we're a good fit. And remember that this offer is limited because of the demands of my time. I can only work with a handful of businesses and give them the attention that they deserve. So, let's talk soon.